Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 23 of the anime series Log Horizon. And this episode pretty much opens with this very similar feel of the last episode in that it's festival time, and all of our main characters are able to sort of let their hair down, have a bit of fun. And I absolutely loved all the comical aspects of this episode, the Log Horizon and Crescent Moon Alliance guilds, respectively. Most of their people are out and about either having fun shopping, eating food, or manning shops, and this has left, in Crescent Moon's case, Henrietta and Marielle, the two leader women of that guild, behind. They're the only ones left in the guild, and they have to move all of these ingredients for the Crescent Moon burgers they've been producing and selling, and Marielle is trying desperately to keep hidden and not have to do this very delicate disposition. She doesn't want to do heavy lifting and stuff like that, causing Henrietta, basically out of fatigue to have to go ahead and call Sugu for help and everything like that. It's very funny seeing that she even takes to hiding in some of these crates as Minori finds out, to avoid being found so she doesn't have to do all this heavy lifting and stuff. And when it comes to Sugu, we see that prior to this, he's out and about under the guise of being a food safety inspector, which basically is all completely BS. He's just basically wanting to eat to his heart's content at all these different stands and shops. And he's got this coupon, as we find out, because, Akatsuki basically follows along with him, that this coupon is going to allow him to get a prize at some point. And he has two of these coupons. One is almost fully stamped. It's like so many stamps you get a prize. The other one doesn't really have that many on it. In fact, I think it only has one. And it turns out he's giving the one with just the one stamp on it to Akatsuki, but she switches them up and gets Shiro a little prize to coincide with her also buying a new hair clip that she's trying to show off to Shiro, who unfortunately, when she's doing so, he's nose deep in his facts and figures, all of his paperwork, so he's completely oblivious. And this is picking up on that vein of Akatsuki's romantic longing looking at Shiro in the last episode, as we saw. Now, sort of in a very similar vein to this, we find that Minori has gone to the crafting guild and has decided to jump headlong into her apprentice status, and she's going to do this to help organize all the paperwork, the people of the land side of things mostly, because a lot of their paperwork is completely contrary and it's all a muddle, So, of course, Minori's going to set herself at the task, much like Shiro would, of organizing all this stuff. Now, essentially, as all of this stuff is going on, all throughout the episode, we're seeing little pepper flakes of hints going around that the people of the land are becoming a little bit more obtrusive, a little bit more argumentative. They're very not happy when they try to go to a shop and they're told they can't buy the lot of everything in one fell swoop, or their professionalism when they're running their own shops is through the roof as compared to the adventurers, the humans. And we see that there's a lot of confrontations going on throughout this episode. It starts to escalate, even to the point where Nienta has to sort of get in between, what is essentially going to be fisticuffs if he doesn't intervene. And he has to get people out of this little pub, who's trying to start fights and everything like that. And when we finally get to the sort of base of this episode, which is going to be this big fashion show that Henrietta wants Akatsuki to partake in and everything, wearing all these clothes and putting them on display and whatever, and Shiro's going to be involved, so that's kind of why Akatsuki even agreed to be there in the first place, because of her longing for him. So you see that, essentially while they're getting prepared for this, one of the people of the land is starting a problem for one of the little shop owners in this big sort of pavilion, and Shiro has to come over and sort of get in the way of it and tell him, leave. You're not going to act like that around here. And it's very interesting. I thought he was almost using some sort of magic ability in that when he points his finger at the guy just sort of turns around and leaves. And even Shiro's like, wow, that shouldn't have been as easy as it was to make him just walk off. This coincides seconds later with a call from Minori, who has finally gotten to the point in all of that crafting guild paperwork. She's realized that there is something significantly off balance with all of the facts and figures, and Shiro has apparently missed this entire affair. He even says to himself, there's something I am missing with all of this. And as we see in the pavilion all around them, people of the land are getting much more and more into conflicts, verbal jousting and everything, arguments, and it's just escalating beyond reproach. And so Shiro basically is like, okay, we have to kind of go into emergency mode here. And Shiro basically runs, hightails it back to the Log Horizon Guild, back to his office to figure out what he missed, where exactly things have gone awry. And this coincides, of course, with the revelation of this new character, Lord Mars, who is soon to be arriving at Akibahara, who basically looks like a demented frog with clown makeup. And it seems like he is going to be a nefarious addition to this whole cast of characters. And so I can't wait to see where we're going to go from here. We only have like 2 episodes left, and it's going to be amazing to see if somehow this character marks the unraveling of all the good Shiro has done, because, of course, again, we have little hints here and there of characters not quite sure what to make of Shiro. They're still calling him a villain. They're still considering him very manipulative. He's always hiding about in his office, doing all that paperwork, not interacting and commingling with all the other people, so they fear him, and they think something is up with him. And it's going to be amazing to see if all the good that he has been able to create in this city of Akibahara for all of these people, both the people of the land and the adventurers, if it's all going to be at stake with the debut of this new character. And add to that, it's a very small moment in the episode, but the fact that Henrietta seems to also be sharing the love lights in her eyes for Shiro. It was very understated. It was only briefly sort of showcased in this episode, but, you know, I hope it's not going to be growing into, if we get a second season of Log Horizon, you know, becoming more like SAO, the very harem-esque theme of that series. I hope we kind of stray away from that. So yeah, otherwise that'll be pretty much it for me on this. I hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.